Hope everyone's having a great evening. We got some good stuff coming up from what I understand from some of the leadership this evening coming on our actual wealth builders worldwide. So let's go ahead. All right. And we are now streaming live. All right. So again, good evening, everybody. Ramon Wilson, Karatbars International affiliate, crypto extraordinaire. I like to call myself, but yeah. So this evening, can you guys hear me well? If you can hear me, okay, go ahead and give me a thumbs up so I can make sure you guys can hear me well. All right. So this evening, what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you guys a very simple way, okay? Basic support and resistance, all right, nothing too fancy. And I wanted to show you a simple way in your back office where you can monitor and find out when's a good time to get in and purchase your coins and when to get out to sell them for a profit, okay? So it's very simple. If you follow along with me, and again, if you have any questions or you feel as though I'm going too fast, just unmute yourself and say, hey, Ramon, or put in the chat, hey, can you repeat that or can you do that again? What I'm about to do is I'm about to show you guys on our charts, on our actual markets, how you can identify simple price action and movement in the market without being an expert or anything like that, and how you can identify when trends are about to change, meaning either they're going to go in a bear market, meaning going down, or in a bull market when they're going up. So I hope this video and this little training can help you guys out, and I'm going to show you some little tips and tricks that you can use. All this is free stuff that we're doing. You don't have to pay anything or anything like that. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And let me know when you can see my screen. If you can see my screen, go ahead and unmute yourself and say, yes, I can see it.
Yes, I see it.
All right. So we're going to go to markets. And for this demonstration, we're going to use, let's use I'll use what I usually do when I'm trying to profit the Bitcoin price on our actual exchange. And these techniques and what I'm doing will apply to any coin on our exchange, or pretty much any coin that you have a chart for. Okay, so we're going to just go to BTC USD because that's what I do. I sent some Bitcoin to my account, but evidently it hasn't got confirmed yet, so it's not in there. But nevertheless, we're going to make it happen. So the first thing I did, I went to markets and I went to BTC USD. Now what we're looking at right here, this is what's called your chart. Okay, this is showing you the price movement of Bitcoin versus the US dollar. So in other words, people are selling Bitcoin with the US dollar, or they're buying Bitcoin with the US dollar. All right. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about, we're going to get familiar. Okay, we're going to get familiar with the actual charts. We're going to get familiar with the actual chart. Up here, this is where you will find your indicators. Okay, your indicators will be up here. It also has your time frames. If you look right here where my pointer is, it gives you time frames. So 5 minute, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 1 week, 3 weeks, 1 month, and 6 months. Now, what does that mean? Okay, every one of these candles, so if I'm on the 5 minute, every one of these candles represents 5 minutes. So that would be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and so on. If I go to the actual 1 hour, okay, each one of these candles represent 1 hour increments. So this is the price movement in 1 hour, this long candle. This is what it did in 1 hour. Everybody understand that? Everybody get what I'm saying? I can't see you guys because I'm actually got my screen share. So if you can unmute yourself and say, yes, I understand, or no. Okay.
Got it, Ramon.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So again, these are your time frames, and I'm going to explain to you why time frames are very important. But this is where you can find your indicators, because I'm going to show you what the indicators are. that I use and how you can use them to help you with price action and how you can determine when to sell and when to buy your coins. All right. So again, your indicators is right here. If you hover over it, it tells you indicators. So if you have something to write with, you might want to write this down because I'm going to give you 2 indicators that's going to help you out a lot. And then your time frame. All right. Over here, you really don't too much have to worry about over here. But this is how you can actually lock your chart and things of that nature. But you don't have to worry about that. All we're going to worry about is the time and the indicators. Okay. So right now we're on the 1 hour chart. So if I wanted to, let's say I had some Bitcoin in here and I wanted to sell my Bitcoin, okay? Or I wanted to buy my Bitcoin. Let's say I wanted to buy some Bitcoin with my US dollars. The first thing you want to do is, all right, you can zoom out. All right, you can zoom out so you can get a better look at what's going on. As we're looking at this, we can see, okay, that the actual price movement overall, the 1 hour time frame, is a downtrend or a bear market because it's going down. It was high. If we look back here, it was high and this is lower. So this is higher lows, which is a great indicator of a bear market. If we had lower highs, meaning it's low, then it goes high, then it goes low, then it goes high. It's like steps, you're going up. This is what's considered a bear market because we have higher lows, meaning it's high, goes low, then it'll come back high, and then it'll go back low. But the overall downtrend is a downtrend, meaning a bear market. So that's the first thing that you want to look at. What is the market telling me? What is the market telling me right now? All right. The market is telling me that it's in a downtrend. So if I am trying to purchase Bitcoin, the motto is to what? Buy low and sell high, correct? Buy low and sell high. So
Right.
a bear market is a perfect market if you're trying to buy and sell buy low and sell high because the price ultimately is in a downtrend. So you have a better chance of getting whatever coin at a good discounted price because it's in a bear market. So that's the first thing I'm going to look at. I'm looking at the market. The market is telling me it's in an overall bear market. Then I'm going to look at, again, we're at the hour time frame. So I want to look and see what it did in the past 4 hours. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we have here, we have a small breakout. All right. And I'm going to show you what a breakout means. A breakout is when you have a hard spike upwards or a hard spike downwards in the movement. We have, as you can see, the red means down, meaning bears are in control. The green means the bulls are in control, meaning it's going up. So what happened here, we had a bull movement, a breakout to the upside. Now we have what's called a pullback. The market is correcting itself. And I'm going to show you how you know that the market is correcting itself. What you want to do is you want to go up here. You want to go to indicators, and you're going to go to where it says Bollinger Bands. Write that down, Bollinger Bands. And we're going to click on that. And what's going to happen is it's going to bring up an indicator called the Bollinger Band. This little blue thing looks like a cloud around the actual candles. It's called the Bollinger Band. All right, so I'll give you a chance to write that down. Everybody see that?
Yeah. Got it.
Okay, so remember, we're in a bearish movement, meaning a overall downtrend. So what I like to do is you want to make sure you go right here where you see BB, that means Bollinger Band. You want to click the middle wheel, it's a little gearbox. You want to click format. You click that. You want to make sure it's the length says 20 and the mult says 2. Okay? The length says 20 and the mult says 2. And also I like to just make my lines a little thick. So I make my moving average line a little thick. I make the outside and the lower a little thick. Okay, you don't have to do that, but that's just the way I like it. Now I'm going to explain to you right now what the Bollinger Band is. The Bollinger Band basically follows, or price movement, it follows and gives you what the market is doing. Okay, the bigger that this bottom line and this top line up here is a farther apart, means the more volatile the market is. So it's a lot going on. So think about a rubber band, all right? The more you pull it out, okay, the tighter it's going to get. But when you start to move it back in, it gets looser and looser. So right now, as you can see, the rubber band was getting tight. which is a good indicator, okay, that something is about to happen. We're about to have a breakout either to the bull side, meaning up, or we're going to have a breakout to the bear side, meaning down. The tighter it gets, the wider it is, means it's a lot of volatility going on, okay? And this is called the Bollinger Band. Also, the bottom or the lower and the upper also acts as support and resistance. And support and resistance is exactly what it means. Your support means something that's at the bottom. It has to hold it up. That's what's considered your support. The resistance is something that's holding you down or pushing you down. That's the top of this. And that's what the Bollinger Band acts as, okay? In the middle, you have this red line. See this red line going through? That's what's called your moving average. It moves with the flow of the actual market. So it shows you, as you can see, it's moving and it's going in a downtrend, okay? All right? So with the Bollinger Band, when you're looking, remember, we want to buy some Bitcoin. So you're like, okay, Ramon, how is this going to help me? And how is this going to show me when I need to buy or when I need to sell my coins? Well, right now, we know we're in the bear market, so we know we want to buy. With the support and resistance of the Bollinger Band, anytime the market or the actual candles come above or outside this resistance or the support, you can pretty much guarantee it's going to pull back inside and correct itself. And as we can see, if we just spread this out, we can see every time that it either went to the bull side or the bear side, when it got outside of these, of the lower or the upper, what did it do? It came back inside of it, pulled itself back in. It broke outside, it pulls itself back in. It broke outside and it pulled itself back in. Now, how does that equate to when you want to buy and when you want to sell? Well, I'm going to show you another indicator that's going to verify and show you how you can use the Bollinger Bands in the next one to know when to get in and to set a limit, not a market, but a limit order, what I talked about yesterday. So you go to your indicators and you go up here to where it has the little microscope or the magnifying glass. You want to type in RSI, and that stands for Relative Strength Index. You're going to click that. And when you do that, okay, it's going to add the RSI down here at the bottom for you. All right, we don't need both of these, so we'll just close one. All right, and I'm going to tell you what this means and how all this works together, and you'll understand once we put it all together how this all works for you, okay? So with the RSI, the Relative Strength Index, it too flows with the movement of the actual market. So if we look, every time you see one of these spikes up or down, it correlates what it's doing up here. So you see this red candle right here, how it's outside, and it shows it's outside the support right here. Everybody see that? See how it's outside of it? It's not inside the Bollinger Band. Everybody see that?
See it. So that's why the spike is down on
right.
The
and
bottom
I'm
bar.
Show you, well. Right. So it shows you exactly what it's doing. Now, with the RSI, what you want to do is you want to go in, you want to do the same thing. You want to click that little gear, okay? And you want to make sure it's on inputs. You want to make sure it's on 14. Now, if you want a real tight limit, if you want it real tight, like you want the most precise, okay, you put 7. But I would say keep it at 14. Keep it at 14. And I just make mine a little thicker because I like to see it big. And you just hit OK. So again, you're going to go to your indicators. You're going to type in RSI, Relative Strength Index, and you're going to click it. When it shows up down there, you're going to click it, and it's going to add it down here. And you're going to make sure that it says RSI 14. And the way you can change that, you just click the little wheel, and it says length. You want to put 14. Hit OK. Now, like Sandra said, she said, is that why this spike down here, if you look, is lining up? Yes, that is the reason why. And what the RSI confirms for you is that anytime these lines get above the 70, anytime you see over here on the side, you got 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, anytime this line comes anywhere close to 70, it's representing the same as your resistance up here. And you can expect it to pull back down. And the same thing goes for any time it gets close to this 30 or below it, that means it's going to pull itself back in. And that's what happened here. So as you can see, it's close to that 30. It's at 31,290. And what happened? It corrected itself and it pulled itself in and it came back inside and started to consolidate. Okay? Everybody understand that?
Yep, got it.
So what you want to remember is if you were going to buy, and so if we were down here and we were like, okay, I want to buy some Bitcoin with my US dollar, and you were on limit, you would come on here and you would wait until this line or this red line down here, this candle got outside of this Bollinger Band, because that means it's oversold. Anything below the 30 means that's oversold. Anything above the actual 70 means that it's overbought. Okay, oversold, overbought. So once it comes down here and it comes outside of here, I will be looking. So I would be like, okay, what is outside the Bollinger Band? So you see right there on the right hand side where I have my cursor at, it shows me 37,29421. Everybody see that, right? On the right hand side.
Yep.
Okay. So I will be looking for when Bitcoin USD gets around the 3730, 3720, 3700, I know that it's going to be oversold, meaning down here. And that's the time I can buy low. I can buy it in here. And we also know whenever I showed you, whenever it gets outside, whether at the support or the resistance, it pulls itself back in. Okay, it corrects itself. So I know if I buy down here at 3720, 3700 around in there, and it comes back up just like it is, correct itself, I can then be like, okay, 3720, and now I would be checking every so many hours to see when it pulls itself back up to around a profit margin. So we know, and the market always repeats itself. It never does anything that it hasn't done before. You know, they taught me when I first started learning how to trade, they say, look left. What happened to the left? You want to look left. And you can see that the price is stable around in this area. So around 42, 4,300. So I would go here at BTC, okay, at US dollars. I would set me a buy limit to get ready to buy at, remember we said, I would say around 3720. So in here, I would put 3720. Okay, 3,720. So when it hits 3,720, guess what's going to happen? And I would hit max on the Bitcoin that I would have in here. And what would happen is it would show me how much US dollars, okay, how much Bitcoin I would be able to purchase. Okay. So when it comes down, and remember, we verify because we know when it's below the 30 and it comes outside this Bollinger Band, it has to go back and correct itself for you to make a profit. You put it low, okay? So I would do this. I would buy it at 3720, my max, and when it hits 3720, guess what's going to happen? Your order will fill, and now your Bitcoin will be over here. Now,
so basically,
go ahead.
Question, Ramon. So basically, you're using the Bollinger Band to establish like a price range.
Right, a price point, exactly. And all I'm doing is I'm verifying. The Bollinger Bands is one verification. Okay, it's outside the Bollinger Band or it's up top of the Bollinger Band. I know it's getting ready to come back in. So the Bollinger Band is one. The RSI is showing you when it goes down below here, you're like, okay, it's outside the Bollinger Band up here, and it's also below the 30. That's a good confirmation that you can go ahead and buy low. Buy it low at that price. Okay. You see what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now, once that order is filled, you can come back and you know, okay, the price is actually hovering around here, around in the 42, 4,300, because it's showing me, if I look left, remember every one of these candles shows me an hour increment. So it's showing me prior that's where it's hovering around the 45 to about 4,400, 4,200. So I would say on the safe side, you know, if you don't want to be greedy, I would say about 4,300. So I would come back over here once my order is filled, and if I want to sell it for a profit, because I bought it at 37. Now I'm going to sell it at a profit. I would come over here and I would put, okay, let's go over here and see. And I would wait. Again, I would wait until it gets up here. The RSI is close to the 70 or above the 70. And this is green, just like this outside. That's a good indication that it's about to come back in. And you don't want to lose profit. You want to sell it at its highest point. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so you're trying to catch it when it goes back outside of the line.
Right, at the top, when it breaks the resistance. Remember, this was support. When it breaks resistance, because it has to come back and verify. It has to touch, okay? Every time it breaks either support or resistance, if it comes down here, it's going to go back and test where it broke at. If it breaks here, it's going to come back and test where it broke at. If you look, it broke here, it came back up and tested. Came back and tested. It broke here, it came back and tested. You see what I'm saying? It always goes back and confirms itself. So when I'm ready to sell, okay, I will wait. Again, I will wait to see the indicator. What's your indicators? Remember, is it outside the Bollinger Band? Yes, it's outside the Bollinger Band. So let's say this candle was up here at 40. Let's say it was coming close to the actual 70. And it actually closed or broke outside of the Bollinger Band. Okay, getting close to it. What I would do is I would be looking, okay, I know it's hovering around here for the past, day and a half almost. It's been hovering around this 4,300. So I would look for 4,300, okay? And that's what I would put in here. So I would put in here 4,300. And I would hit max. I would hit max my actual BTC. So 4,300. So now when it goes up, after it breaks down here and it starts getting bought back again, it hits 4,300, guess what's going to happen? It's going to automatically trigger your order, and now you will have a profit. So you would have more Bitcoin than you had when you first bought it at 37.20. Your US dollar worth would be a lot more than when you sold it the first time. Everybody understand that?
Okay.
And that's how you can do it. So again, you just get these two, the Bollinger Band, make sure it's at the 20 and 2, and you do that by going here, 20 and 2, all right? So you go, again, you go up top. This is how you get your indicators, right here. Hover over, it says indicators, Bollinger Bands is right here. You're going to click on that. Once it shows up, you'll know it because you'll see it look like this. You want to click here. You want to click 20 and 2. Hit OK. Then you want to go and do it again. You want to go here to indicators, and you want to type in RSI, and it's going to be right there, Relative Strength Index. You're going to click it. Once it shows up down here, you want to click the little gear, and you want to make sure it says 14. You hit OK, and you'll be good. And you want to make sure you're on the hour time frame. The reason why I say the larger time frames because you get to see the bigger picture. If we go to, I'm just going to show you, if we go to the 5-minute, watch how it changes drastically. See how this is totally different? The 1 hour looks like? The 1 hour gives you a bigger picture and it's more accurate than your lower time frames. If you're going to be sitting there hours on a time, watching the charts every 5 minutes, then you would want to use the 5-minute. But if you are busy and you're out doing stuff, you can look at the 1 hour chart and get a good picture like, okay, I want to look and see what it's totally doing. So I know it's in a downtrend and I'm ready to buy some Bitcoin and sell it for a profit. I need to start looking at my indicators to see if it's a good time to get in. Again, if it's down here, you want to buy it. Once it starts creeping outside of here, you want to start looking to go ahead and sell if you've bought Bitcoin, to sell it, especially if you bought it at a lower price, because you'll make that profit from when you bought it down here to up here. That's a nice size profit. Everybody understand that?
Okay, so you recommend doing the 1 hour. Now, if we decided to maybe, if let's just say, for example, if I want to stretch it out and maybe look at beyond an hour to get even bigger picture, could I do that?
The more you stretch out, the better and more close you're going to be. I mean, you're going to have a better picture. So if we went to the 2 hour, this is what the 2 hour looks like.
Okay.
This is what the 3 hour looks like.
So you really get a bigger picture of the downward trend that is taking.
See what I was telling you about a breakout? Okay. You had a breakout right here. See this? A breakout and it started going down in bear market. And once it's coming outside of it, look what it did. It came outside. This is what's called your support. Remember, the below the Bollinger Band is considered your support. Up here is called your resistance. So think of the floor, your ceiling. Your floor, your ceiling. And you see what happens? Some of the students start going outside of that meaning. And if we look back here, look where it was getting close to. that 30 mark. It pulled itself back in and it consolidated, corrected itself.
Okay.
So you could do that. I just say the 1 hour because that's what most of us look at. All right. So
okay.
Quay, do you have any questions? Anybody else have any questions? Again, this is being recorded and it's inside our group. All right. So now what I want to show you is, and that's how you can really narrow in your limit sales. So you don't have to be sitting there doing market. You just set it, and when it hits that mark, it's going to automatically buy or sell your coins, whether it's KBC, Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever. That's how you do a limit. And you're
you know what? That's good too, because I was going to say, when I've been buying my KBC coins, you know, because I really didn't really have a full understanding of the chart. I was just doing the market price, so I could have been losing money.
Right.
And then
because remember, market is just like buying retail. You're going to the store and they say you can buy this Louis bag for $1,000, or you can wait 2.5 weeks for Black Friday.
Catch it on sale.
And that's what the limit gives you the option to do. You can catch your coins or your coins and make profit on sale. You don't have to buy it at market value. You can wait till the market adjusts and you can get more bang for your buck.
Yeah, and that's what I really wanted to do. Because when they talked about the other night in the meeting, somebody else said the same thing about, you know, using the limit in the market. Right. And I was like, man, I've been losing money because I was always just using market.
Okay, so now I don't wanna. We got about 20 more minutes, so I'm gonna go to the next thing. So everybody got a pretty good observation and understanding of Bollinger Bands and the RSI. If you use both of them together, you'll know when to get in and when to sell your actual coins. Correct? Everybody agree with that? All right.
Yep, I'm good with that.
All right. So now I'm going to show you how to draw support and resistance. Now, this might seem a little overwhelming to you, okay? But it's not. It's very simple. It's the same thing we talked about here, except now I'm going to physically draw it and not I'm not going to put the Bollinger Bands up until after I draw it. So you can draw if you have a charting system. I use Coinigy. This is like advanced training stuff, this system that I have right here. But you can use something what's called TradingView. So write that down. It's called tradingview.com. And it's free.
TradingView?
Yes, trading. I'll type it in the actual chat for everyone. Where's my chat? Where's the chat? Where's the chat? That's chat. Okay. It's called tradingview.com.
TradingView. Okay, I thought you said you.
Tradingview.com. All right. And you can get a chart just like this, and you can practice drawing support and resistance. So what I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you how to draw support and resistance. Same way we talked about with the Bollinger Bands. So right now we're looking at Bitcoin USD, just like we were on the 1 hour chart. All right, Bitcoin USD. We're looking at the same thing on here. All I did is I just zoomed out some so you can get a better picture of how to draw support and resistance. Now, if we're looking at this right now, from what I just explained to you on our platform, what would you say this market is going? Is it in a bear trend or a bull trend?
Okay, it looks like it's going to be a bear trend.
It's in a bear trend. Yes, it's in a bear trend. Look at it. This is your highest high back here. Okay. This is the highest high over here, but it's not higher than this. So this is a downtrend. So a bear trend right now. That's very correct. That's correct. Okay. That is correct. Okay. And I'm going to show you how to draw support and resistance. Now, what you can do on all charts, just like the other one. All right. You got your indicators and stuff are up here. All your drawing tools will be on the left-hand side. The same goes here. All my drawing tools are on the left-hand side. All my indicators are up here. Okay, it's just a little different. All right. So the first thing, when you're looking to draw support, meaning your floor, that means the floor. The floor supports you to stand up. We're talking about the floor. You just get your horizontal line. Okay. You want to get your horizontal line and you click it. Okay. Now we're looking for where the price stops. It doesn't go any further below the floor. That's what's called our support. So right now, is anything below this right here? Is anything down here?
Don't look like it, no.
Okay, so we know that that is support right there. Okay, we know that that's support because it came, it stopped, then it started moving up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a support right there. Here's another one. Did it go below here when it came down, and then it went sideways and it went here?
So you're gonna have two support lines?
Yeah, you can. And don't worry, I'm going to show you. So that would be another, and I'm going to show you what this all means in a second. So that's one. We also have another one. Okay, now let's rewind. If we remember, I told you to look left because the market always repeats itself. So
Right.
we know that this is a support right here. So I'm going to show you. So that's support right there. We know that that's a support. All right. We also know that this is a support right here because we had a breakout to the upside, to the bull side. All right. So just right there, we have support, support, support. Now, we know that this is support. And remember, I told you, with support and resistance, your floor and your roof, it always has to go back and retest wherever it broke or it touched. So let's just look back here. We had support right here, right? It broke through it. And what did it do? This used to be a line of support, but now it became resistance because this broke through that resistance, and now this became support, and this becomes resistance. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This used to be a line of support, meaning this used to be the floor, but when it broke through the floor, it created a new floor, and it created a new roof, right?
Gotcha.
Resistance. So when it broke through, okay, what did it do? Remember, this used to be support. It came back, and it tested that old line of support, which was now resistance, right?
Right.
It broke through, all right? Remember, it broke through, so it's got to come back and test it sometime, doesn't it?
And that's when it goes back up.
What did it do? It came back and tested. It tested again. It broke through, came back up, broke through, and it tested all the way down to it actually broke through here, created another support. It tested, broke through that support. Now this support right here became what? Resistance.
The ceiling. Yeah.
Right. And it created a new what?
Support line.
Right. And now it came back up. It tested, broke through it, and now it's coming back down. It's coming back down. And that's the same thing we see over here. Okay? It's coming back down. Same thing. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So now, if we come over here and we put up our indicators, I'm going to put up my indicator like I was telling you. Bollinger Bands. Okay? We're going to go to Bollinger Bands. We're going to make sure it's on 20 and 2. Remember, 20 and 2. Our style, like I said, I like to have my upper and lower a little fat so I can see it. My inside, my moving average. Boom. All right. Now let's look. Remember what I told you. We're going to zoom in some. We're going to zoom in and we're going to verify. So remember, here's that same, like we was talking about, Sandra. Remember this? Remember this right here? This is that. This is that right here.
Oh, that's neat.
See how it's coming outside and it pulls itself back into the Bollinger Band. It was going past the, remember this acts as, remember Bollinger Band, this acts as resistance as well, right? So it broke the resistance, and what did it do? It came back to test. See that?
Okay. Yep.
You see that?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. All
right, everybody see that? So even if we go and we put up our same indicator that we have on a Karatbit, RSI. Go to RSI, it's going to add that. Remember, we'll change this to 14. All right, I usually keep mine on 7 on here because I like mine nice and tight. We can put it at 14. That still, it gives you a little wiggle room. So if we go to 14, let's look at it. So when it broke out right here, where was it at? Above the 70, isn't it? Here's 70 over here. Look where it's at. It's at 76. So what does that tell you when it's up here? So let's think about it. If you would have bought Bitcoin back here, when it came down back here,
it was cheaper.
When you see that it went below that 30 right here, look at that. If you would have put it right here, like, okay, now it's time for you to go ahead and get that Bitcoin.
It'd
have
been
cheaper. Put it right there and you let it ride, all the way up until it got around in here, because remember, when it comes up here, it's your time to sell off, to take your profit.
Right.
If you would have bought it back here, like, oh, this is the prime time, boom, you would have bought it and you would have rode that profit all the way up to here, which means you would have bought it around 30, almost 3,500, so 3,482, and you would have sold it at around about somewhere around in here, so 36,000. So let's just see how much that is. Let's just see. Let me see if I can.
That's a nice increase.
Yeah, that's a nice bit of money right there. And just imagine if you had $50 and you did that, you'd at least made, you know, $40 profit right there. So you bought low and you sold it high, all because you looked at your indicators. Okay, it's outside the boundary band. Where's it on the RSI? Oh, it's below the 30. Okay, it's a good time to buy. Because you know it. What goes up got to come down. What goes down has to go up.
Right.
So you'd have been watching. Okay, remember, this is the hour time frame. You'd have been watching. Or on here, I can set alarms. So I can set alarm to where when it hits anywhere below here, it'll alert me. And Bitcoin is below here. I would know to come in, set my buy order. Boom, execute. Then I would be looking. I would set it somewhere up in here. So when it gets up in here, and I would come back up here and look like, okay, I'm gonna you know, set my cell or my alarm when it comes close to this boundary band to give me a heads up. Hey, it's getting close. You might want to start looking at get ready to sell. And I would set my sell limit somewhere up in here. Boom. So even if it was sold right here, you still were good. You still made a profit because you bought it back here and you sold it high. Everybody understand that. And all I did was I just drew support and resistance. So even if I took off the boundary band, you can sell.
You still have your other line.
Right. You still can sell off of support and resistance. All right. So you see it here. You see it up here. Okay. It broke the old support, which is now resistance. I know it has to come back down and test.
Mm-hmm.
So once it starts getting close to this line up here, okay, because remember, we drew this line from the previous back here. Because I guarantee you somewhere back here, that line was a previous support, right? And look, there it is. That's a previous. That's another previous. So you know that the market is going to repeat itself. So when you
just
saw
a matter
it,
of catching it.
right. So when you saw it, you were like, okay, I got in here. You have your line. So when it gets anywhere up in here, I'm be looking to sell for my profit. Everybody understand that?
Yeah, that's yeah.
All right. So that's the real simple way to identify. Again, like I said, you can do this on Karatbit. Only thing you can't do on the Karatbit Exchange is draw those support and resistant lines. But you can use the boundary band, the RSI, the same way. You just have to be conscious and know that the bottom of the boundary band is your support, the top is your resistance. Anything that goes above 70 on that RSI, you know it's time to sell it. Okay?
Okay.
Anything that goes below that 30, you want to know that's the time to buy it. And if you're looking to make a profit off of buying it, if you're going to be trading it and selling it, making a profit, rinse and repeating, you want to buy it when it's at its lowest at the bottom, and you want to sell it at its highest peak.
Okay.
Close to it. You're not going to be exact all the time, but you want to be in the ballpark.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a big help because that, like I said, I had just been doing market and, you know.
Right. So it's just another way to be able to do that. So yeah, that's pretty much it on how you can do that. I didn't want to take up too much time. I know we got a couple. It's 5 here, so it's 6. So they're getting ready here in a minute. I want everybody to make sure they get on there. But again, I recorded this. This is streaming live actually in our Facebook group. So just wanted to share that with you guys. If you want to go back and look at it, feel free to do that. Again, it's going to be recorded, and we will. I'll try to do another one. You know, just keep refreshing this simple part of it for people that couldn't see. And I appreciate you guys for coming on, and we'll see you later.
All right. See you in the next meeting.